Welcome to the Pong Youp webinar. I am Joy Martina and I am your host today. Roy and I are excited that you are here. So now please check if the sound is okay and if you can hear my voice. If you can't, then please check if your mute button is on. Okay, we got confirmation that the sound is okay for most people. So have pen and paper ready and turn off your cell phones. Turn off your email and all other distractions and ask your loved ones to give you a bit of space right now. First, I'd like to tell you how we came across Pong Youp. We were on our way to China to give a workshop there, and were invited by a friend of ours, a Dutch businessman, to visit the Buddhist monk Chan Chano in Thailand. And as we were on our way, we thought, yeah, why not? We didn't really know what was awaiting us there, but we had the feeling that it would be important, and we were right. The Buddhist monk Chan Chano lives outside of Bangkok, and we were taken there in a car, and although we didn't know what was awaiting us, we did have the feeling it was going to be important and life-changing. And so it was, because this is where we got to know Pong Youp. The Buddhist monk Chan Chano taught us and told us all about how he came across Pong Youp. And actually it was because he was very sick, he was very ill and had gone into the jungle to die. And then his spirit guides appeared to him, this is the story that he told us, and they gave him this special breathing technique, and they told him to practice that for many, many hours. And he did. And a few days later, after breathing the Pong Youp way in a very intense manner, he left the jungle as a healed man. And ever since then, it has been his mission to spread this healing method throughout the world. But he doesn't want to travel anymore. He says he's happy in his temple outside of Bangkok, and temple is a big word, I'll tell you more about that later. And he was even invited by the royal family of Thailand to come to Bangkok itself and reside there in a beautiful temple in a big place. But he didn't want to. He wants to stay where he is, and he's happy to welcome people there. But he was also really excited about meeting us and told us that it would give him great pleasure and be part of his mission if we could help him spread this method. As he says, you're the ones traveling. I can see that you're busy. You have to do with a lot of people. Can you please take that over? So that's why we're doing what we're doing. And that's why we're so happy that you are joining us on this webinar, because now we can teach some more people how this amazing breathing method can really transform your life. Chan Chano has worked a lot with the army, and he has helped many, many soldiers be healed of post-traumatic stress. So with them, he does the Pong Youp method. He breathes with them for many hours, and after a 3 to 4 hour session, most of these soldiers were actually free of post-traumatic stress, and that's amazing. He calls the Pong Youp way of breathing the mind solution of karma. So he says, as the Buddhists believe, that we have a lot of accumulated karma from many lifetimes. And with the Pong Youp way, you can actually burn that karma because you are releasing all the negative energy within you. You are able to focus your mind, and you're really transforming parts of yourself and parts of the karma that you have brought with you into this life. Yeah, now I'll tell you a story how my first experience with Pong Youp was. So we spent many hours in a hot car traveling through the landscape of Thailand until we finally got to this temple. Now, I was expecting a lush, tropical, beautiful temple, and I was a bit disappointed to see shack. Yeah, actually lots of shacks. And we were welcomed by the noise of barking dogs, and it seemed to be hundreds of dogs, because Chan Chano loves dogs. And he lives with many, many dogs in this very, very simple temple. And we welcomed us in this big sort of reception area, which was all very It's very simple. It was, a normal sort of concrete floor and straw mats on top, and we were invited to sit down. Us women were told to sit right at the back and under no circumstances touch the monk. And then in came Shan Shano, and he, with the help of a translator, told us his story of how he discovered Pong Youp, and then he told us a lot of crazy things of what people do when they start breathing the Pong Youp way. That was a moment when I started getting slightly concerned, because I thought, wow, this sounds a bit dramatic, but yeah, I'll go with it. If it has this amazing effect, I'm in. And then he took us out into another sort of shack area. Again, we were sitting on the concrete floor, and he had a few helpers there, and we were instructed to start breathing. And he showed us how, and we will show you how later. So we started breathing, and I thought, wow, yeah, I mean, this is simple. I mean, how can this do anything dramatic? I'm just breathing and I'm reciting a mantra. But then it really did happen. I went on this amazing journey inside of my head. It felt a bit like what I imagine it must feel like to be on a drug trip. So a part of me was very aware of what was happening. I could hear the sounds around me of my friends breathing. I could hear the monk laughing. And the other part of me was on this fantastic journey in my mind. And I went through what seemed like many, many lifetimes. And during this breathing session, I started developing a high temperature, a fever. And I was feeling terrible, but I kept on breathing, kept to the mantra, and kept on going through this amazing journey until 3 or 4 hours later. We did it for a long time, and Shanshano only does it for such long periods of stretches of time. I kind of awoke and just made it to the next hotel, where I crashed into bed and spent the next 3 days with a very high fever, literally burning the karma of a past life. The past life that I saw was part of it was in the Second World War, and it was a pretty dramatic past life, and it didn't really make much sense to me, but I kept getting this information that this was good, this was how I was supposed to be doing it, and due to the channeling that I do, we even channeled whilst I was having this high temperature, and my guides, who started talking through me, told me, no, this is fine. She's just burning this karma, and everything's going to be okay. Just a few more days, and she'll be good. And so it was. After 3 days of a very high temperature and kind of hallucinating, if you ask me, I woke up and I felt amazing. I felt as if a huge burden had left me, as if I was no longer carrying this rucksack, this karma, whatever you want to call it. And I had noticed a lot of positive changes from that day on. My channelings became even clearer, even crisper. It seemed as if, my channels being cleaned. I felt as if I'd been on a intense fasting, and I felt wonderful. And it was truly a feeling of being reborn. And we now know that this intense karma burning happens when you do such long sessions of Pong Youp, which is why when we teach Pong Youp to people, we always start them on short sessions, and that's what we recommend you to do as well. So we don't want you to embark on a 3 or 4 hour session of Pong Youp on your own, because we want you to build it up slowly, but we'll tell you more about that later. So let's talk about breathing. We breathe every day, but we breathe in a very unconscious way. It's just automatic, isn't it? So why do we want you now to start breathing consciously? Well, you see, when you breathe, you're doing more than just exchanging oxygen for used up air in your lungs. When we breathe, we are also connected to ourselves, and we are doing so much more. And when we breathe consciously, we can use our focus and intention to make breathing a completely new experience. We can actually focus on what we want to do or change within ourselves and use our breath as a facilitator for that. So let me show you this chart we made for you and show you what Pong Youp actually can do. After about 30 minutes of Pong Youp breathing, you will notice an improved brain function. Your stress levels will go down, your immune system will become stronger, and you will generally feel far more vital. It's as if you've got this burst of energy in you. If you do Pong Youp over a longer period of time, so let's say 4 to 12 weeks, you will actually notice that your blood pressure will normalize. So I noticed this with myself because I've always had very low blood pressure. that completely stopped. I am now having a normal, much more normal blood pressure, and I no longer have any times of feeling faint or dizzy. That's completely gone. Your lung capacity will be improved just because you're breathing much deeper and in a far more intense way. You're actually using more parts of your lungs, so they become stronger over time. And you will notice this in when you exercise, for instance. So I, for instance, love running. And due to Pong Youp, I can really run much further, and especially when it gets very cold, I can even run outside when it has very cold temperatures, because my lungs are just far more resilient and much stronger than they used to be. A part that a lot of people like is you will notice an improved sexual function. That's because you are dealing with stress levels, which very often kind of sabotage our sexual experiences, but also because you are improving your blood circulation. You're obviously improving it in all parts of your body, and that will benefit you in all areas of your life. People with chronic pain tell us that they can get off their painkillers or reduce them very much because you are kind of cleansing your system. You're giving your body far more oxygen than normal, and that has so many benefits. And one of the wonderful parts is that you will be able to deal with chronic pain or even completely get rid of it. A big part of doing Pong Youp is dealing with emotions, dealing with stress, anxiety. This you will notice almost immediately. You'll just notice your stress levels going down. But if you do this over a longer period of time, you will notice that things just don't get to you that much. You're not that easily triggered because you're continuously cleansing your system. You will notice mental clarity, so you'll just have a kind of clearer mind, better thoughts. You're not going round and round in circles the whole time. People who have to deal with higher blood sugar levels notice that they stabilize. Their blood sugar level actually goes down, which is, of course, a great effect if you're suffering from diabetes. If you do it over a longer period of time, you are actually doing something to prolong your life. So you are altering your gene expression, which helps you to live longer and live a happier and healthier life. You are strengthening your heart, because if you're strengthening your lungs, you're also strengthening your heart, you're giving it more oxygen, you're increasing your heartbeat when you breathe very fast, you're training it much better. And that, of course, benefits your health. You'll find you just feel healthier, you look radiant, you are lowering your risk of heart disease, and you'll just feel better on all levels. And these breathing techniques have been around for thousands of years in many different cultures. Breath has been used to help your body, but also help you in a spiritual context. And Pong Youp is just a very simple and powerful way to empower your breath. And that's why we're so excited to share this with you, because you can do it. After this webinar, you can do it on your own. We will offer you packages to make it easier for you to have a kind of guidance with you, because that's what we experienced, and that's what makes it more fun and even more powerful. But theoretically, after this webinar, you can start doing Pong Youp, and that makes it so much fun. So what happens when we breathe consciously? Well, it almost immediately affects your brain waves. So our brain waves go from beta to gamma. When we're in a normal awake state, we're in beta. So once we start relaxing, we go into alpha, and the deeper relax, the deeper we go. So then we go into theta, and when we sleep, we're usually in delta. So once you're in alpha and theta, something great happens in your brain. It opens your right brain. It opens your connection to the universe, we'll call it for now. Once you've activated your right brain, it's as if you're connected to a source and power much greater than you. So this is the state when people start channeling, receiving messages, get contact with their guides. And that's what you will notice when you do Pong Youp, is that you will quickly go into a kind of altered state. And when you do Pong Youp, you're going to not immediately enjoy that altered state and go into meditation, but you're going to keep breathing. You're going to actually change things in your body, in your system, and keep going. And then at the end, you will go into a blissful state. But I'll explain that later. So the state of alpha and theta opens your right brain, opens up your connection to the universe. And it's, kind of as if you have wireless channels to all that information out there. And that will benefit you in many ways, because you'll become clearer on your life's mission, on your path. When you have decisions to make, you just know what to do because you're connected to your right brain, to your intuition. And then it depends on what your intention is, what you set your intention to be before you start breathing. So if you, for instance, are dealing with a physical challenge in your life, then your intention for your breathing session will be the healing of your body. If you are dealing with just stress or an emotional challenge, then your intention is to transform those emotions, to transform negativity. You can use it for burning karma. You can use it for many things. Just make sure that before you start breathing, you set that intention. We use the crystalline command for that, and in our package we explain this wonderful technique called crystalline command, which is a very powerful way of setting your intention, of actually dealing with your DNA, of programming your DNA to be aligned with your goals in life. So if you want to get our package, we will explain that more in there. In the webinar, there's not really enough time to explain the crystalline command. It's, for now, just know it's a way of empowering your intention. You can do Pong Youp when you're sitting, you can do it lying down, you can even do it when you're walking around. The only advice we give you is normal Pong Youp is done with your eyes closed. Why is it done with your eyes closed? That's done because you want to focus on the inside of you. You want to focus on yourself. And if you have your eyes open, it's much easier to get distracted by the things going on around you. So when you are doing the walking Pong Youp, please open your eyes, otherwise it's going to be dangerous because you might find yourself crashing into things. You can do Pong Youp inside and outside. It's wonderful doing it in fresh air, on a beach, in the countryside, in nature, but you can also just do it in your bedroom. Now, let's get to the basics of how you actually do Pong Youp. When you do Pong Youp, you breathe deeply and intensely in and out through your nose. So not your mouth, your nose. And this is actually the way we're meant to breathe. But many people have forgotten how to breathe properly and have started breathing through their mouth. And at the beginning, you might find this difficult if you're a mouth breather, but we urge you to please breathe through your nose. It's better for you. It filters the air. It warms the air for your body. It's just the better way of breathing. And with time, you'll get used to it, and you'll actually be able to breathe through your nose in everyday life as well. So rule number 1, you breathe in and out through your nose. You will be repeating a mantra whilst you're breathing, and the mantra is Pong when you breathe in and Youp when you breathe out. So you'll be saying silently inside of yourself, because you're busy breathing, you won't be able to do it out loud. You repeat in your mind Pong Youp, Pong Youp, Pong Youp. Now I'm sure you're going to ask, what does Pong Youp mean? Well, Pong means in and Youp means out. So all you're actually saying is in, out, in, out, in, out. At first, this might seem like a kind of, very simple mantra. Yes, it is. But if you think about it, it also has a great spiritual depth to it. Because if our aim in life is to go with the flow, to stay in the moment, to ride that universal wave of consciousness, you want to let things come in and out, in and out. You don't want to get stuck on things. You don't want to become rigid. You want to stay in that flow. And in that way, it's a beautiful mantra, and Pong Youp sounds nicer than in out too. You will be repeating this mantra continuously throughout the entire session, throughout your whole breathing. You repeat this mantra inside of you. And whilst you breathe, your shoulders will move back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to breathe in and out as fast as you can and as deep as you can. So at the beginning, you might breathe slower because you're just not accustomed to breathing so deeply and so intensely, but you want to keep going. And then with time, you're going to breathe faster and faster, and you'll go through kind of phases. So you'll start slower, you'll speed up, you'll reach a cruising altitude, a cruising level of breathing, then you'll slow down again. And in the guided sessions that we offer in the package, we will guide you into this. So you don't have to worry then about knowing, okay, when do I breathe how? We will show you. But if you're doing it on your own, you want to change the speed of your breathing throughout the session. It's important that you keep breathing. Even when you feel emotional, even if you feel pain inside of your body, that's normal. These things come up because you are releasing all the suppressed emotions, or everything that you've been suppressing will come up whilst you breathe. And that's also the reason why Shantanu told us that some people do crazy stuff. They start shouting and screaming when they're doing Pong Youp. That is because of all the suppressed emotion coming to the surface, and that's good because you're helping your body release that tension, that anxiety, that fear, whatever you've been suppressing. And so if that happens in your session, good, go for it. But continue breathing. Keep breathing, keep repeating your mantra. Don't go into those emotions too much. You might also, after quite a short period of time, experience this bliss, this absolute wonderful altered state, and this nothingness. That's great, but when we're doing a Pong Youp session, we want to return back to the Pong Youp because that's what you want to be doing. You want to be cleansing, you want to be going deeper. So if you notice after a few minutes already you're going into that altered meditative state, return to your breathing. Some people also get surreal visions. You know how I told you about my past life experience? That can happen to you too, and that's great. It's interesting, but don't go, don't dive into it too much. Don't get caught up into it. Return to your Pong Youp, return to your mantra, return to your breathing. Yeah, even if you're floating in space, return to Pong Youp. It's a good idea to set your alarm or a timer for a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes because when you're doing Pong Youp, you often lose the idea of time. Sometimes you're doing Pong Youp and it'll seem like 2 minutes, but you've been doing it for 2 hours. And sometimes it seems as if every minute is like an hour. So set that timer in that way you don't have to worry about how much time you're spending. You know that your timer will ring after 15 minutes. It's quite a good thing to do at the beginning. And then when your timer rings, you want to speed it up for a few minutes. So then you go as fast as you can, breathing as deep as you can for 1 or 2 minutes. And then comes the best moment, at least that's what I think. Then you just lie down with your eyes closed and you just be. Then you can drift off into this amazing, wonderful state of nothingness, of bliss, of surrendering to the divine, whatever you want to call it. That's that gorgeous state when you can just let go and meditate and enjoy yourself. We're going to now show you a short demonstration so you can join in. We hope you're wearing comfortable clothes. If not, take off extra sweatshirts or hot stuff. You'll get warm when you're breathing. And yeah, join us. We'll show you how to do Pong Youp. We'll do it for a few minutes. So join us right now.
Pong Youp demonstration. We start always with closing our eyes and we set our intention. So in this moment you decide what it is that you want to let go and what it is that you want to bring back into your life. For example, healing and you want to let go of disease, or you want joy, let go of emotions, or you have a specific challenge you're facing in life that you want to let go and you visualize the solution. You take a few seconds up to a minute just to visualize and focus on what you want and to let go anything that's blocking that. Then first we're going to start with the warming up. This can last 1 to 3 minutes. So we're going to begin breathing in and out, and we now are doing the movement big. See the shoulders moving back and also closing completely as you breathe out. We're breathing through the nose, in and out, and with each breath in, you say Pong inside of your head, and when you breathe out, you do Youp. Pong in, Youp out. Pong in, Youp out. Pong in, Youp out. If needed, you use a tissue to clean your nose. And then now we're going to go faster and faster. Now we start with what we call the cruising. This can last up to 3-4 hours, whatever you want to do. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 3 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. You choose how long you want to breathe in the cruising mode. You keep repeating to yourself, Pong in, Youp out. You can also visualize light in and visualize everything you don't want out. So when the light comes in, it's a golden or white color, and when you breathe out, it might be another color, whatever color that you want. And you keep breathing. If pain comes up, you keep breathing. So if you feel pain somewhere, you're breathing into the pain. If your hands start to cramp for whatever reason, you do not stop. Pain or cramps just means that the oxygen is working, the Pong Youp is working, you just continue breathing. If emotions come up, you just breathe through the emotions. You breathe through everything. If you get visions of past life or even from this life from before, you keep breathing Pong in, Youp out. You might be distracted at some point that you feel that you're completely in bliss, you're happy, and you might stop breathing. The moment you realize that you are not breathing anymore, you return again to Pong Youp. Breathe in and out, Pong in, Youp out. Now we're going to go to the finale, to the end. We're going to sprint. Now we're going to go faster. The last minute we breathe in and out as fast as we can. We always breathe deep in and out. Never sacrifice the depth of your breathing. You keep doing that for 30 seconds up to 1 minute as fast as you can. Fill your body full with energy and oxygen everywhere you can. And then you stop and you rest. You breathe normal now. And you keep your eyes closed and you focus on the feelings in your body and gratitude for everything in your life that is good. You want to be now in this state for as long as you choose to. 1 minute, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. It's up to you. You can do this stage lying down, you can be sitting, and so on. This is a typical short, very short Pong Youp session. It's up to you to do it longer if you choose so. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and smile and be happy. Thank you.
Great. So that was wonderful to do that with you, and I hope you enjoyed it and you could already feel that tingling inside of you. You could feel that rush of energy. You could experience your first taste of Pong Youp. And, that was just a few minutes. So, of course, the longer you do Pong Youp and the more often you do it, the more intense this experience will be. But I hope you were able to get a first taste of it. So when you've finished your Pong Youp session, when you're doing it on your own or with our guidance, it's a wonderful time to connect to the feeling of gratitude. Focus on what you're grateful for in life. Think of all the wonderful things that you have, and that is the best attitude to have to attract even more goodness in your life. So connect to gratitude, be grateful for all the good things in your life. So what is the optimum time and frequency for Pong Youp? Generally speaking, the more often, the better. But as we said at the beginning, don't do it for too long at the beginning. Do it more often and do short sessions. Because, you want to make it part of your daily ritual. You want to make it part of your everyday life. And we know time is precious. So it's best to make it part of a daily habit. So, do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. Our idea is start first thing in the morning. Before you get out of bed, do Pong Youp. Set your timer, do 5, 10, 15 minutes of Pong Youp. We just do not recommend you to do it in the evening in your first month, just because you'll still be releasing a lot. Emotions might come up. You just might be too agitated then to go to sleep. And also, it's usually the case that, especially at the beginning, you'll feel so energetic that sleep might be the last thing on your mind then. So for the first month, don't do it in the evening. What happens if you're sick and you're doing Pong Youp? Do it. It's a good idea to do. You need to set your intention on healing your body, and just do it as often as you can during the day for short spouts of about 10 minutes. And remember, oxygen is the enemy of cancer. So if you're struggling with cancer, or if you know people who are struggling with cancer, ask them or tell them about Pong Youp, and do Pong Youp yourself. Do it to accelerate your healing, to help you with whatever other therapies you're doing at the moment. Alkalinity is also the enemy of cancer, and there's some wonderful books about that and a lot of literature. So look into alkalizing your body. If you're facing the challenge of cancer, don't just do it with Pong Youp, please. Get help. Get support from your doctors, from your therapists, from people who can help you. It takes a lot of courage, work and support, so don't do this on your own. It is possible. We have some wonderful testimonials of people who've gone that way and have been able to heal themselves of chronic and serious diseases with Pong Youp, but we don't recommend you to do that on your own. So generally speaking, Pong Youp supports the healing process of your body, mind and soul. It works on many levels. And here are some tips for you to remember. Do Pong Youp as often as you can. Keep your eyes closed whilst you're doing Pong Youp. Repeat inside of you the mantra Pong Youp, Pong Youp, Pong Youp. Don't do Pong Youp in the evening at the beginning. Do it in short sessions throughout the day. Best is to do it in the morning or then later on in the evening. Do it whenever you feel tense. Do it whenever you feel you're being challenged, when you're being triggered. Just transform those emotions, transform that energy within you. Don't suppress things any longer, but use your breath to cleanse you. And you'll find Pong Youp is a wonderful support mechanism for that. Yeah, so if you have enjoyed this and you say, I want to go deeper into this, I want to know and learn more about Pong Youp, then take it to the next level with us. We have prepared a package for you so that we can help you along. We can make it easier and faster for you to learn. So we've created a at-home program where we will give you a manual, a guided meditation and a video about Pong Youp for only €69. That's a €30 discount. So all you need to do is then later go to the website pongyup.com and use the coupon code BREATHE444 and you'll get that €30 discount and be able to get your package for €69. Now, if you're a coach or practitioner, we suggest you go to get our instructors program. That is now available for €250 instead of €375. And here your coupon code is PongYup444. Now don't worry about remembering all these coupon codes. After the webinar, you will get an automatic email with the link of where you can get the package from, the general package and the practitioner's package, and the coupon codes will also be in there. Now, if you want to teach other people to do Pong Youp and you want to use this in your practice and you're a therapist yourself, then we advise you to get the expert package. You can then also be listed on our website, so you can take a short test, short examination, send us a demo of how you do Pong Youp, and then we will list you on our website. And remember, this discount is only valid for a short time. So use the link and the coupon code you will receive in your next mail and get your package. Start today breathing the Pong Youp way. And I just know that you're going to love it. If you start doing it and you do it regularly, you will notice amazing changes in your life. I can't repeat this often enough because I just love this tool. I know it's so simple. Even kids can do it, and children do it. Check out our website. One of our practitioners did it with preschool children, and they love it. They do it in a playful way. It's just such an amazing technique to learn, and you can use it for so many different things. So I sincerely hope I've been able to inspire you to become one of our Pong Youp breathers. And share this method. We hope you will share it with as many people as possible so that we can really create a wave of healing around this globe, empowering people. And that's why Roy and I do what we do. We love helping people by giving them simple but powerful techniques that they can use in their everyday lives to transform their lives, to improve their lives, to become the best that they can be. And I now have come to the end of this webinar. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a great day or wonderful evening wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And yeah, have a great life. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for watching our Pong Youp webinar. We are very, very excited that you're going to start doing Pong Youp, and we hope for the rest of your life, so you can improve your health, vitality, and most of all, your state of mind. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. And check out our websites for signing up for our free newsletters. In that way, you will always know what we're offering on our free webinars, and you can stay in the know, in the loop, and join us for many more. Thank you.
Thank you.